HVAC temperature rise measurement requires placing the supply and return duct sensors in specific opposing positions, so the calculated temperature rise and resulting airflow CFM are accurate and repeatable. For a valid temperature rise and the implied CFM using the HVAC temperature rise formula, the return probe should be installed as close to the air handler discharge plenum as possible, but upstream of any mixing points and at least 1 to 2 duct diameters from fittings or dampers to avoid distorted return temperature. Readings. Use a thin gauge thermocouple or thermistor probe and insert it through a snugly sized drill hole, then seal with high temperature silicone so no leakage or stratification alters the reading. The supply probe belongs downstream of the heater coil and the air handler heat exchanger, but not directly in the heater's radiant line of sight. Place it in the center of the supply duct cross-section at least 1 to 2 duct diameters away from elbows, takeoffs, or transitional fittings to get a representative mixed supply temperature. Align both probes at roughly the same axial plane and vertical position relative to duct centerline when possible, so the delta temperature is between airstreams that have traversed similar flow paths. For homes with low duct depth or rectangular ducts, average by measuring at 2 opposing points and use the mean. When using only one sensor per side, bias toward the center of flow. Always allow the system to stabilize for a minimum of 5 to 7 minutes after steady-state heat call before recording temperatures, and record multiple readings to confirm repeatability within 1/10 of a degree Celsius or about 2/10 of a degree Fahrenheit. If the measured temperature rise is outside the equipment rating, check probe placement, verify fan speed and filter condition, and confirm the equipment's heat input rating before calculating cubic feet per minute with the formula. Document probe locations, insertion depth, and sealing methods so subsequent tests are comparable and traceable. One of the biggest mistakes is poor probe placement causing inaccurate HVAC temperature rise readings. Fix it by moving the return probe adjacent to the air handler plenum and the supply probe downstream of the coil, but out of direct radiant view. Seal both probes in drilled ports and retest after system stabilization. One of the most common issues is taking readings too soon during warm-up or shutdown, leading to transient errors that throw off computed airflow CFM. Fix this by waiting a minimum of 5 to 7 minutes at steady-state heat and averaging several consecutive readings. One of the frequent errors is using probes in obstructed locations or near leaks, which skews the temperature delta and CFM. Fix this by choosing straight-run sections at least 1 to 2 duct diameters from fittings, sealing probe ports with high-temperature silicone, and, for non-circular ducts, averaging multiple points. BigHomeProjects.com lists trusted HVAC contractors and guides homeowners to installers who understand proper probe placement and temperature rise testing. The directory also helps contractors get qualified local work by showcasing their expertise in airflow measurement and proper sensor positioning.